welcome you to the Owatonna Coaches Show. You can find the Coaches Show again on local cable here in Owatonna on channels 8 and channel 20, Blip Top TV on the internet, OwatonnaHockey.com, and on Facebook you can look through either the Owatonna Wrestling site on Facebook or Youth First Inc., and you can find both those on YouTube channels as well for each of these individual segments. We want to thank our Owatonna Hockey sponsors, and specifically the ones that are sponsoring the Girls Hockey Association. And we want to remind everybody, again, to be out and on the look for their new copy of the Owatonna Hockey book this year that's got both high school boys, high school girls, the Steele County Blades, and all of the Owatonna Youth and Park and Rec hockey teams in it. And so you'll start seeing these around town in some of the sponsor locations, or better yet, attend one of the home hockey games and pick up your free copy. We want to thank InstiPrints in particular as one of our sponsors in the printer of the hockey book this year. Our sponsors, Ag Power, Bremer Bank, Coles Electric, Culligan, Federated Insurance, InstiPrints, Oldenburg Photography, SPX OTC, Straight River Sports, Sign Pro, Truth Hardware, Trelo, and Walzer Chevrolet Buick for their support of the Owatonna Coaches Show and Owatonna Hockey. And the Coaches Show is brought to you by OIHA, our Youth Hockey Association, the Owatonna Girls Hockey Association, and Youth First. My name's Mark Arjes, and we're here this week getting caught up with Coach Hunst. How are you tonight?
Not too bad.
Just coming off a workout out here, so this is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got the blood flowing, you're excited.
Oh yeah, I was warming up for the interview, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about girls hockey. So last night, a big win over a Big 9 opponent,
Yeah.
Faribault.
Yeah, absolutely. Girls are playing really well right now. Historically, we've played a lot of individual hockey where one player gets the puck and goes in and scores. What we've really been working on lately is getting a lot more people involved, bringing your friends with, and we've really taken that to heart. Last night we started out very hot. Scored 3 goals in the first period. Outshot them 25 to 3 or 4.
Wow.
We dominated.
It was assault on the goal.
It was absolutely, and that's what we were trying to do.
Oh, cool.
Get a good fast start and really set the tone for the game, and that's exactly what we did. So it's just nice when the girls go out and execute. We've always known they're capable. It's just making sure that they execute.
Yeah. I was reading the article in the paper today, and it sounded like it was a little interesting game last night. There were some words in there that chippy and a few others.
It did. It got chippy. There was definitely frustration out there. There were definitely some shots being taken, and so for us, it was just about maintaining our focus on the game rather than focusing on what was going on around the game, the outside stuff. Some big penalties were called. A major was called toward the end of the game. We put 2 in the net on the major, and that's the way I'd like the girls to respond rather than going out and retaliating.
So for those of us that are hockey novices, tell me what's a major penalty, especially in the girls' game?
Yeah, that's a good question. We generally don't see many majors. A major is a 5-minute penalty, and so in the pros it'd mostly be for fighting. We don't have the fighting. If you fight, you're gone. In high school hockey, you get thrown out of the game. But for checking from behind, for shots to the head, head contact, majors have come into play. And the difference between a 2-minute minor and a 5-minute major is that on a major, it's unlimited how many times the team that is on the advantage can score. On a 2-minute penalty, you score once, the player gets out of the box. On a 5-minute penalty on a major, you can score, if you can score 20 in 5 minutes, you score 20. And that's the way that the major works.
So it's a big disadvantage, and a lot of that came, of course, in the last year and a half from the high school league, right, with all the concussion and the Jablonski thing and all
that. It did. The head contact was never a penalty. A lot of times you'd see a double minor called if it was a flagrant shot, and sometimes people would be thrown out of games for the intent to injure. But you didn't see the majors like you're seeing them now. It has definitely changed the game, and for us, it's just something that we have to adapt to. We've been on the bottom side of some of them with some head contact type stuff. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not. Right. But either way,
and it's
you're
about
short for 5.
safety for the players, right?
Well,
the ultimate thing.
Absolutely. It's about cleaning up the game. It's about making sure that we aren't putting our kids at risk for major injuries that are going to affect them for the rest of their lives.
So overall, where would you do a little assessment of where your team's at right now?
Right now, we've stubbed our toe a few times in the Big 9. We We did come back and beat Mankato East after we lost to them the first time. We then lost to JM, who we beat the first time, and so it was that was a little bit disappointing for us. It puts us into a position of being needing some help to be up at the top of the Big Nine. Right now, as it sits, we're in third place, and we need to find a way to get some help from some of these other teams. So we're rooting like crazy for other teams in the Big Nine to take down East and JM.
Oh, okay. And I know, I think your next game coming up then, you had Faribault last night, the one you talked about, but next you got Dodge County on Saturday, so that's a non-conference game?
It's a non-conference game. We are scheduled with them twice this year. Dodge County is a solid team, and right now, in my opinion, probably the number 3 team in our section, which surprises a lot of people because they're thinking Dodge County, what is Dodge County? It's Casson and a lot of the surrounding communities, and they've got a good thing going. They are playing good, solid hockey. And for us, it's a big game. If we can win that game, it solidifies us into no worse than, in my opinion, no worse than the 4 seed, and possibly vaults us up even higher than that.
So who else would be, other than you and Dodge County, then, for as the top of the section? Then?
Top of the section is Lakeville North and South. Okay. They are by far the 2 top teams in the section, and so we just need to find a way to beat them. They are very good, and doesn't mean that we can't win, but it's going to take a really good game by us and to create some breaks for ourselves to give ourselves a chance to beat them.
Good. So after Saturday, a couple of Big Nine games on the road, so I would imagine those play in. So it looks like Mankato West and also Albert Lee.
Yeah, 2 teams that we've had success against, but you can't take anything for granted in the Big Nine. As soon as you do that, you end up losing a game that you think you should win. So we know what we need to do.
Good. So talk about, just while we're wrapping up here, talk about some of the players that really are playing well right now. Some of the things that you like that you're seeing on the ice.
Well, it's kind of fun because at the beginning of the year, you would have looked at Abby Sawyer scoring all of our goals and being kind of the heart and soul of the scoring. She's still scoring, which is a great thing. But now we've got a lot of help. Paige Radu has really stepped up as a real leader on this team. She is the other center for us right now, and she's bringing her line mates with her. We've been getting great efforts out of Megan Rethmeyer, freshman, first year on the team this year. Peyton Noble has really stepped up her game. On defense, you've seen Ashley Kniefel really step up and play a good solid D, and another senior, Kelsey Rohrig, leading the way, and everybody else is following suit. It's nice to see. It's really fun to see these girls really stepping up and playing. Good.
Are you kind of back? I know we talked here at the last game that I saw here. You were down a couple of girls from injuries and stuff. How are you now as far as?
We're almost full strength. We've got one concussion that we're dealing with, but we've got other girls stepping in. That's been the nice thing for us. Injuries, they always hurt you. They really hurt your depth, but it's really nice to have other girls that can step in.
Awesome. Well, we'll look forward to. Appreciate your time. First of all, jumping right off of practice here. Appreciate your time and what we'll do is the next week or so we'll get back together and kind of get caught up and see how things go. And
absolutely.
As you just kind of push through January here, get ready for your section run. So
yeah, well, thank you for having us.
Appreciate your time. Yep. And again, you can find the Owatonna Coaches Show out on local cable in Owatonna, channels 8 and 20. Check OwatonnaHockey.com on the internet. Check that website. And YouTube, look for Youth First Inc. as well as the Owatonna Wrestling Show, and you can usually find all of the Coaches Show's clips on there. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good. Cool. Awesome.